Well, it's funny what kind of people are attracted to. I'm just trying to keep the main thing. The main thing is that's basketball, trying to win games, sticking up for my teammates.
Making it known, like if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it.
I think that's just who I am. It's my personality.
Caitlin Clark just did the most amazing, unanticipated support for her career, and it did not take place on the court, although her $25 million was being celebrated worldwide. Nike agreement. She stunned everyone by putting her teammate in the spotlight. Cunningham, Sophie. What followed sent shockwaves around the WNBA and redefined the appearance of star power. Like
WNBA pick Caitlin Clark, her first pro game, 10 days away, but even before she makes her pro debut, she has a major Nike deal on the line.
It wasn't a buzzer beater. It was in play with power. A action so surprising that not only caused a stir in the WNBA, it quieted it.
Well, Caitlin Clark could be breaking another record, this time with an endorsement deal. The Associated Press says Clark will soon be signing an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike.
Caitlin Clark recently inked a $25 million deal. Negotiate with Nike. Yes, $2 million. That's not only the largest sneaker deal in WNBA history, is more extensive than some. Veterans of the NBA are coming in, and she did. She is only a few months into her rookie season. That on its own would have been headlines for several weeks. However, she didn't end there, Caitlin. She changed the narrative in a way that no one noticed. Arriving since the actual twist wasn't the cash or even the trademark shoe. She is receiving her own line, though. What the real jaw-dropper did next. And she had nothing to do with it.
Referees, are they ever going to call a foul? Y'all going to call a foul? Did you swallow your whistle?
Following, Caitlin invited her to sign the contract. Sophie Cunningham, teammate to what appeared to be a low-key Nike event in Indianapolis. Sophie believed it to be a simple celebration of the brand, perhaps with a picture shot or a publicity stunt. What she strolled, nobody in the WNBA was into, had previously witnessed. The space went dark. A brief movie played on the large screen. The journey of Caitlin since her days in Iowa to the storm she's been weathering in the WNBA. The critics, the buzzer beers, and the sold-out venues, the skeptics, and those who supported her.
Their best record in over 10 years.
Nike then gives Caitlin a personalized jersey with gold stitching, anything only. Legends succeed. However, rather than placing it, Caitlin then turns to face Sophie and adds, "This is not only for me, it's for every woman that turns up, puts up a fierce battle, and defends her group." Then it hits out.
Really hard to develop a boldly disruptive shoe on Zoom.
And then rolling that into what will be her shoe later in the year.
Caitlin didn't merely request that Nike honor her. "I want," she said to Nike. "Sophie and I are doing this because the female never take favors for granted."
This was, I believe, Caitlin Clark's last game in the WNBA. And then also, of course, the WNBA All-Star Game had 3.4 million viewers, and that's the most watched WNBA.
A box with a personalized Sophie emerged. Player-only Cunningham sneakers. Created in Indiana fever hues with no backing down was stitched on the heel and affixed a contract on it. Subbed agreement under Caitlin's own terms of endorsement. Caitlin's utilizing her own negotiations. Ability to offer Sophie a share of the spotlight, a share of the pie. Let's that take a while to settle in.
Attendance when it comes to viewership, when it comes to jersey sales, when it comes to merch sales, it's going to be the biggest that we have seen.
Because in a league where players engage in combat, for agreements, focus, and minutes on the ground, where allegiance isn't only, it's dangerous and uncommon. Caitlin Clark didn't. Who was there for her when the lights went out were the most severe, whilst other stars would have commemorated alone. She created a thoughtful, silent action that made a statement. Loud. All right if you do. For you, therefore, why Sophie? Why her?
Speak up and speak out. At this point, they don't even care if we speak out.
Caitlin Clark, currently the face of the WNBA, yes.
Due to the fact that Caitlin entered the It Wasn't All Cheers League, entered a hyperbolic media frenzy, rugged league, as well as constant drama, particularly from athletes such as Angel Ree and Denai Carrington, who garnered media attention, attempting to take her off her pedestal. However, one player continued to move up next to her, pushing back, accepting fouls. It was Sophie speaking out. Cunningham.
She did it in a way that she wasn't going to injure JC. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it.
She turned became Clark's enforcer, the teammate who performed the unpleasant tasks, the one who stood in the flames to let Caitlin to shoot at will. Caitlin remembered that, and she didn't hold off on marketing team to instruct her on how to phrase thank you. Respect was at issue here. Allegiance and redefining what it means to possess influence on women's sports.
How people view Caitlin Clark and whether people view that the WNBA needs to protect Caitlin Clark, the golden goose of a league, as which she is being called.
Moreover, Nike wasn't merely purchasing her leap shot, they were purchasing the narrative, the culture. Caitlin doesn't merely tolerate numbers, she sells out, and she moves people, venues, smashes records, and more. Crucially, she takes a bold, quiet lead with activities that cause a stir without uttering a word.
Again, we don't know how bad it is.
For this reason, Nike outperformed Adidas, Puma, wearing Under Armour. They witnessed what she could perform on the court, but more, most essential, what she could expand upon it. Additionally, this $25 million shift, with a hint of selflessness, may be her largest help to yet. Here's where things became sentimental. Grab a towel, please, and act as though it's an emotional allergy.
She's number 1 and 2 in every offensive stat. She's hitting more threes this season than Steph Curry did in his first MVP season.
Going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down.
Thus, Nike hands Caitlin Clark's gorgeous gold stitched jersey that was manufactured to order using feelings of royalty, the kind of feeling you frame and display with awards. Everyone is applauding and cameras are rolling. The room's energy is shouting, Caitlin, you made it. But she doesn't.
Ability to step up in big moments. When the bright lights are on, Caitlin Clark is also on. This was, I believe, Caitlin Clark's last game.
No, Caitlin only keeps it for A. Turns to Sophie Cunningham after a second, with the most serene mic drop in sports, past, and declares, this isn't only for me. This is for all women who demonstrate, stands up, puts up a fierce fight, and defends her team. Give it time to marinate.
Not blame Sophie at all. Like, I have her.
She then reaches into a display made of glass. Scenario. Indeed, at this stage, Sophie still doesn't understand what's going on. Caitlin takes out a box that contains a personalized
Sophia's favorite colorette sneakers.
Course, but sewn in on the heel. The term bold letters could exclusively belong to Sophie. Don't give up.
So we know the new Caitlin Clark Nike shoes came out, and they sold out. It was rumored that 13,000 pairs of Caitlin Clark's new Nike basketball sneakers were being sold on June 30th.
Not only that, but in addition to those shoes, a genuine contract under Caitlin's support umbrella, which means Clark created an agreement with Nike using her own subcontract for Sophie. Neither a cosign nor a shout out for a promotion. A real business move. It includes Sophie in the brand transaction. Formally, to put it simply, Sophie was finished.
Shock, tears.
That kind of moment where you become aware that someone witnessed all the actions you took when nobody else was observing, and they did not simply recall.
I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional. It was, to me, payback for what was happening the entire game.
Here's the thing. individuals may have. Why, Sophie? I inquired. For example, why would the most well-known rookie in the utilize her first significant endorsement in the game, agree to bring attention to someone else? Here's why, though. Sophie has been that teammate, the one who tosses herself in the midst of each scrape, the person who responds to reporters when they go too far, the one who takes birds that aren't even captured on camera just in order to prevent Caitlyn from hitting the floor once more.
It known, like if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it, is going to change. And not much is going to change until there's literally a shift in how they view the WNBA, how they view good basketball on the court.
Caitlyn didn't make it this far. She is aware that she is in a league, damaged elbows, full of egos, and Sophie was being watched by cameras from every angle. Remained steady. She wasn't pursuing headlines. She sought safety, seeking trust.
And I'm here to tell you, it is not a good moment in the fan base. Fans are quiet online. A lot of people are starting to look like they're reselling their all-star tickets.
She turned become Caitlyn's unofficial bodyguard. Her strength, her refusal to make mistakes. With my inexperienced enforcer, and if you watched a few Fever games this season, you witnessed it. Each time someone attempted to frighten Caitlyn, Sophie demonstrated. Sometimes she would physically throw herself up into traffic.
Had other ads and things that came out, but since then it has been cricket.
Nevertheless, Sophie never requested credit, never ranted, never succeeded about her, and Caitlyn did. She once remarked during an interview, people discuss the I create plays, but Sophie creates them. Nobody notices. In that Nike room, she ensured that everyone could see. Now here's where it becomes larger than two athletes and a pair of shoes, since this has never been carried out before. We've witnessed rookies sign deals, observed veterans profit, but no rookies. Never in league history has a monster deal and utilized it to place a different player on.
Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA, and she is getting paid a measly $28 million.
Caitlin Clark recently modified the plan. She turned the entire discussion of what power and impact in women's athletics. She didn't show off by taking more, flexed by offering more. Additionally, the immediate rippling effect. Colleagues were. Alyssa Thomas was astounded. Yes, that. Fever overheard Alyssa telling employees. She simply provided Sophie the kind, dazzling brightness that the majority of us never experience in our entire careers, and she didn't even. The part you can't do is blink. Manufacturing. The cohesiveness, the manner in which After then, the dressing room was altered. Rookie began to observe the characteristics of loyalty in action. Veterans began to reconsider what using your platform entails. The entire group began to move a little taller,